This is roll, get your roll on. 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 Roll on. This is roll, get your 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 roll on. Roll.
As I walk out those last gates, I couldn't really see who it was. When I really, really looked at it, I noticed it was my mom. It's raining outside all crazy. I'm just standing there. She's honking the horn. I was contemplating if I should even get in the car because I really didn't want to see her ass. I'm still dealing with a lot of stuff from the past. But I figured, I said, you know what? This jail is kind of far out, and I really don't feel like waiting for nobody, especially in this weather. I walk up to the car, and I get in. She had just got off the phone. She tried to be cordial, as if we always talked, and she said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm fine." My mother's a straight shooter, probably because she's an attorney and she's partner, so she's used to being this way. It really didn't take long for her to start snapping. And when I say snapping, I mean letting me have it. She goes off on me saying, "Why didn't you call me to represent you? Why did you go 6 months in jail without talking to me? Why are you selling weed?" She started asking me a multitude of questions. And before she could finish, I said, "It's none of your business." She says, "What do you mean it's not none of my business?" I said, "You haven't been there for me." She said, "You seem to forgot all that I've done for you." And I said, "You seem to forgot all that you didn't do." She said, "What do you mean? You wasn't there for me when I needed you the most. Maybe if you was there, I would have never been selling weed. Maybe if you was there, I would have never ended up in jail. Maybe if you was there, Dad would never end up robbing a bank." She slapped me. I turn back and look at her. She says, "Whether I've been around or not, you will not disrespect me." I didn't say nothing for the rest of the ride. I looked at my phone. She didn't say anything either. I was scrolling through my phone, looking on Facebook, seeing what has happened since I've been gone. There wasn't shit that changed. I looked on Instagram. Of course, I seen Jasmine on there. It looked like she's booed up now. Damn. Ain't that about a blip? Nigga go take the rap for her ass and she couldn't even hold it down for a nigga. Shit. But I ain't tripping. I let her do her thing. She's a youngin'. I ain't expect her to wait for me. She wasn't my girl or nothing. Shortly, we pull up to my father's crib. I look at the crib. I say, "Yo, this is how you living?" It was this big 2-story house in this nice-ass neighborhood with this garage. Had like 3 cars in the driveway. She pulls up. She parks the car and she turns the car off. She starts trying to talk to me, trying to make me feel as if she really cared about me. Saying that, "Jalen, you know that I love you. And you know that if you ever need me, I'll be there." And saying that I don't want to see you in jail. I don't want nothing to happen to you. I still didn't really say anything. I ain't gonna front y'all. After she slapped me, that really threw me off. It threw me back. She acted as if she was there for my track meets. Or if she was there for my graduation. And she was even there for my first job when I worked at Foot Locker. Shit, Dad damn near got fired trying to leave his job early just to take me to Foot Locker. She just didn't get it. I got out the car, I didn't say anything. She rolled the window down and said, "You could at least say bye." I said, "I'll see you in the next life." Once again, she goes off on me again, saying this and saying that. But by that point, I really didn't care no more. I was so mad about her putting her hands on me, I just didn't want to even say shit. While she's going off, my dad opens the door and says, "What's going on?" She says, "John, you need to get your son in check." He says, "Laura, if you was a mother, I wouldn't have to always put him in check." I said, "Oh, shit." And she said, "See?" Next thing you know, them two are going back and forth, fussing, cussing, acting completely hood in this white ass neighborhood. Next thing you know, Rachel comes, my dad's girlfriend, and she grabs his bald head and says, "Is everything okay?" And he said, "Yeah, baby, everything's okay. You can go on back upstairs." As soon as my mom seen her, she rolled her window up and pulled off real fast. Imagine she was pretty shitty. I don't know. I think my mom's still single. Shit, she must be if she have time for me. No, she ain't got no time for a nigga. Dad closes the door and grabs my shoulders and says, "Son, it's good to see you." I said, "It's good to see you too, Pops. For sure." Once again, he goes on lecturing me again and again and again about selling weed and going to jail and yada yada, all this same shit he told me when I was in jail. I ain't really trip about it because I'd rather hear him in person than to be over the cell block over the phone hearing him telling me this shit. Rachel says, "It's good to see you again, Jalen." I say, "It's good to see you as well." The next thing you know, this mixed nigga comes from upstairs. And she says, "Jalen, this is my son, Gabriel. Gabriel, this is Jalen." He reaches his hand out and say, "What's going on, dude?" I say, "What's up, man?" Now, I lean in for a handshake slap, but he put his hand out like a corporate meeting, which threw me off. I wasn't mad at it, but he looked like he was busy. He kind of put his hand out, but he still had his tablet in his other hand. Rachel said that, "Yes, this is my son, Gabriel. He goes to Purdue. He's in school for engineering." I looked and said, I knew this nigga was a studious nigga. Look at this guy. Had on some brown khaki with some loafers and a button-up shirt, sleeves rolled up. But I couldn't hate. Maybe that would have been me if my mom had stayed around. But my dad knew how to really, be a dad. Or maybe if I just didn't decide to sell weed, maybe that could have been me. Anyways, she says, "Are you hungry?" I said, "Oh, most definitely. What you got? What you got?" She said, "I'm going to whip you up one of my specialties. Go have a seat." Me and my dad go sit in the living room after he gave me a tour of the house. We were sitting there watching sports, but I really didn't care to watch that shit. I watched so much sports while I was in jail. I'm over it at this point. I'm just ready to get back into normal society. Ready to get back working again. Nah, I don't mean selling weed. I'm not going back to doing that because that shit is why I'm in this shit in the first place. About 15 minutes had passed, and she said, "Here you go." She brings me this plate. I'm looking at it, and it's this Philly cheesesteak. She got the Philly cheesesteak with mayonnaise on it, some provolone cheese, and some slithered onions, and then she got some fries to go with it. I thought I was at Penn Station or something. And she's like, "No, baby, this ain't Penn Station." She said, "Nah, this is Rachel's recipe." I said, "All right, Rachel, I'm down." And my dad immediately gets on my head and says, "Hey, son, that's my woman. Relax." I said, "All right, Dad. All right. I think he thought I was really trying to flirt with her because she was an attractive older woman. I don't know, maybe I was. Not meaning to, but I would never do that to my dad because I want him to have love. He deserves it. Take a bite out of this sandwich, and I felt like I heard the choir from heaven singing. This sandwich was absolutely the greatest thing I've tasted, hands down. Sheesh. I said to my dad, I said, "Damn, Dad, I see why y'all two together. She throwing down over here." And he started laughing, and so did she. Then Gabriel chimes in and says, "Yes, my mom is the best cook that I know." And that's when I kind of stopped laughing. Rachel says that I could stay there. She says that me and Gabriel, we have our own separate rooms, but if you want, you can stay in the basement. I was like, yeah, I appreciate it, but I got somewhere to stay. My dad was like, really? Where? I said, yeah, you remember my homeboy Wayne? He's like, yeah, I remember him. From when you was in high school, right? I was like, yes, sir, that's him. Yeah, we hollered a little bit ago, and he said he got me when I got out. He said, okay. He took me outside and said, I want to show you something, son. I said, okay, Dad, that's cool. We walk out on the porch. He kind of talks to me and lectures me about hard work and staying on a narrow path and staying focused. I said, okay, that's cool. Then he got this remote in his pocket and hits this button, and then the garage door comes up. Then he hits this car alarm. It was a Jeep Commander. It looked like a 2008. It was the beige one. He said, son, this is yours. I said, what is mine? He said, this is yours. This car is. I said, this car is mine? He said, yeah, it's yours. This one right here that's in the garage. He's like, yes, son, this is yours. I said, okay, all right. We walk up on the car. He tells me about it. He tells me about the horsepower. He tells me about the gas mileage. He tells me about the miles that's in it. And he tells me, he said, son, while you was in there, I felt so bad that I wanted to work hard just to be able to help you get regulated when you got out. So I bought you this car. I said, thanks, Dad. We shook up and I hugged him and grabbed his bald head. I damn near wanted to cry, but I definitely didn't want to look like a bitch coming out of jail. I said, Dad, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and roll out. He said, okay, son, it's good to see you. Don't be a stranger. You're always welcome to me and Rachel's. I said, all right, Dad. I get in the car and I roll out. I hit up my nigga Wayne. For some reason, his stuff keeps going to voicemail. I don't know what that's about. So I figured I'd stall a little bit and burn some time. I rolled to my old apartment. I see shit ain't changed. Shit. They had somebody else living in my apartment. But I just parked the car for a second and just looked at it. I thought about all of the women that I had brought up in that apartment. I used to bring women up to that apartment and I'd get in that kitchen, I'd throw down while they was in the living room. They would drink wine. Wine wasn't really my thing, but they loved it. Then I'd roll up a joint. A lot of women would be surprised that I was rolling joints instead of blunts. I told them that I wanted that clean high. And they said, okay, I want that clean high too. So I hook them up with it. They smoke, I smoke, they smoke. And I would cook, and they would love my cooking because a nigga can throw down for sure. And shortly after that, I would take them to the bedroom. I usually used to massage their neck. Something about a woman's neck is so attractive. It's so smooth, it's so gentle, it's so, I don't know, buttery. I know it sounds lame, but a nigga been in jail for 6 months, so I'm a nigga kind of ready to, I honestly can't bear to squeeze one more out on my own. That was this trick I used to do in the bedroom. After I massaged their neck a little bit, they'd be like, oh, let me give you a massage. Most times they was terrible. I ain't gonna front you. Some of these women, they just didn't know what they was doing. That was this trick that I used to do, and it worked every single time, my nigga. I was undefeated. I would lay them on their back, spread it open, and once we was getting into a climactic moment, it was this thing where I used to immediately like wrap their legs around me and then go in like a super drill mode, and it would take them out of here. I mean, out of this world. We would laugh after the fact when I make jokes about the faces they would make. And they be like, you make faces too? I'm like, nah, I look sexy when I come. And we would laugh about it. And I would walk them down, most times, to their Uber. They would say, call me, and they say that they gonna call me, and they would call me, and I never would pick up. damn, that's probably why they always messed up my car. I was always mad because they was low-key kind of sprung. And I just wasn't, I don't know. I guess I just felt like when I had you in my apartment, I fed you, we smoked weed together, and, you know, I took care of you in the bedroom. I don't feel like I needed to do more, but maybe that wasn't enough. Maybe I should have been more of a gentleman. I don't know. In them 6 months, I had a lot of time to think. After I stopped looking at my apartment, I realized that it's been about an hour of me just sitting here reminiscing. So I turn around and get ready to head towards the north side to go see my nigga Wayne. Wayne, gotta go see my guy. Been a long time. We ain't talked since that first month that I was in jail. When we had talked then, he was telling me to keep my head up. He was proud of me. And I was like, for what? He said, because you never snitched, you stayed true, you took responsibility, and you even looked out for old girl. I said, yeah, I mean, that's what we're supposed to do. We men. And he respected that so much. I'm riding through, bumping my music, feeling good. I'm seeing females everywhere, and man, it is rough out here for me. I'm like, I need to hit the shower, get this damn jail smell off of me, get some gear on. I need to find me a fee ASAP because a nigga is ready to go for real. I pull up in Wayne's neighborhood with all these condos, and I was just like, damn, I keep forgetting how nice it is over here. I get to driving through, I'm looking at house. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, here's my nigga's house. About this time, it's probably 7 o'clock at night. It's not super dark, but it's dark enough. I pull up to his house in the driveway. I noticed that was his van. I was like, what? Whose car is this? I said, my nigga would never buy this. Wayne don't roll that way. Last time I came around, Wayne had a 90s Mercedes. This nigga would never roll this car. Anyway, I said, maybe he got his mom or grandma's or uncle or somebody over. So I get out the car. I'm rubbing my hands. I'm excited. I'm ready to see my nigga. I'm walking up and I'm getting ready to knock. But as I was about to knock, I look through the window. I see these two little white kids wrestling and running around in the living room. I see these couches. I said, why didn't get this shit? Why are these little white kids in here?
They're all being careful by the little ones.
I still didn't really catch on yet. Then there was this white mom, I'm assuming, that came downstairs. And she grabs them and tells them, you guys need to stop playing. It's time to get homework done. As soon as I seen that, my reality had snapped back. I said, there's no way Wayne lives here. I said, shit, I gotta hurry up and get out of here because I'm in a white person's driveway and nigga cannot go back to jail. I get in my car, I roll out, and slept in my car. In the morning, I gotta figure out what my nigga Wayne is.
This podcast is created, produced, starring, and written by Maurice Hunt. Also written by Deshay. Music by Wiz Khalifa, Ty Dollar Sign, DJ DNA. Sounds from soundbible.com, freesounds.org. I do not own the rights to any music or sound effects used to produce this content. Thank you for tuning in, and come back next week for another episode of Roll.
This is roll, get your roll on. 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 Roll.